Yeah, let's talk real quickly about some of the stuff that I picked up at the hobby store yesterday. Me and my broski, we hit up Trinity Hobby. Shout out to Trinity Hobby. It's one of my go-to places for all my Gundam stuff. And mm, this was one of those days where I was kind of like, I need materials, I need supplies. There's always the temptation, and believe me, I've fallen to this temptation, uh, where I need a lot. Like I said, I need various supplies, various tools, whether it be paint or tape or what have you, brushes. But then there's a shiny new Gundam. There's a shiny new model kit there, and I'm like, oh, well, let's just get this. And then immediately leaving the store, I was like, shit, I actually needed plot plates. I needed blah blah blah. Uh, so today, or rather yesterday, was the day where I was like, I'm actually going to get the stuff I need, and I will shield my eyes from all the tantalizing model kits that I would potentially buy. So here's an example of something that I bought. This is Evergreen 1 1/8 inch tube, 0.125 diameter or 3.2 millimeters, 5 pieces, made in the USA. Made in the USA. Evergreen scale models. Yeah, so these are just large, like tubes, basically. And there is a hole. But yeah, this is one of those things where I feel like you could use this for a lot of different things, but even if you were to just cut them so that they're very small rings and then use them as like a detail accent, that would be a cool little addition to your model. Or you could take these rods and use a heat gun or apply heat in some fashion and curve them around, curve them so that they could be like tubes and stuff like that. So yeah, versatile plastic tubes. That was one of the things I bought. Polystyrene, Evergreen makes good plastic. Yeah, I feel like they're probably like one of the main ones that I see at like any store. Um, there's other products too. There's other polystyrene um, manufacturers, but these guys, I see them a lot. They're used for all sorts of hobbies, not just gunpla, but like the model train hobby. People use that stuff. So yeah, that was one of them. What was the other thing? Wait a minute, now I forgot what I bought. Oh yeah, little FOMO. Now you are non-FOMO, unFOMOed. Get unFOMOed. Yeah, just bought some Mr. Finishing Surfacer 1500 white. I've never used this before, but I'm planning on using it just as a primer. So yeah, we'll see how that goes. I usually pick up. I was talking about this before, but I usually use Citadel primer, or rather Games Workshop or Warhammer products for my primer. They're really expensive, but I actually like the results. And I know that a lot of folks out there will say like, yeah, you can use this thing and that thing. You can use like hardware store primer, and I've definitely used that stuff. But for me, I've noticed a difference, and I'm willing to pay. Maybe I'm just crazy, but I'm willing to pay the extra price because I know that the Citadel stuff is pretty consistently good. But that being said, as I said, it is pretty pricey, and uh, I felt like I should try something a little different. Uh, so let's give this a shot. It might even turn out that the price relative to how much is in this can is probably about the same as Citadel, because this is like almost half the size. But anyways, 1500 is good. I haven't used the can. Oh, okay. Yeah, hopefully it'll be good. Like I've used Mr. Hobby products uh, before, right? Like Mr. What do they call that? Like the top coat, clear coats. I've used that stuff, and I'm pretty happy with it. Generic multi-surface. What is that? So here's the last thing that I picked up. Whoop. The option parts set 14 multi-cloth. And this was something that they announced like maybe like a year ago. And once they announced it, I was like, shoot, I'm definitely gonna get this. I might even want two of them, because robots with capes. Just Gnarly knows this. Most of you guys should all know, robots are cool, but a robot with a cape is even better because it's complete nonsense, but it makes it look just so cool. Um, I love it. I love it. No capes, not great, but not bad. I get you. I get you. So stuff like that, like I've definitely used, like I said, other products and like the hardware store, automotive spray paint, stuff like that. I find is pretty good for terrain. But yeah, I saw that cloth, making my own out of polyester. I want the multi-cloth. Yeah, a cloth cape is really good too. And I might have to go and learn how to make a cloth cape at some point, for a different project. But yeah, let's take a quick look at this. As you can see, here's the big flowing capes. That looks pretty good. And there's a part of the cape that kind of can wrap around the head or wrap around the neck. And there's some examples of how it'll look. Like, for example, right here, capes. There's an example. Capes make them more efficient. And you don't have to use the whole thing. You can have it just as like, you could have it on one side, or you can just have it like that. So there's a lot of different ways you could use this. Looks like they've included a part that you can kind of slot in the weapons if you want over there. That's kind of cool. Yeah, and like you can have this part just be like a scarf kind of situation. So yeah, I mean, this thing probably won't take too long to build, and if we end up finishing the Chitosarium kit, maybe we'll work on this.